All right, so here's right here. Here's the stuff that people seem to like to debate about and talk about. Man, is the GOAT. And here's yet another NBA player, a former NBA player, Kendall Gill. Played on Hornets teams with Muggsy Bogues and Zoe and Grandmama, and I think he played with Gary Payton with the Sonics. They had a backcourt that was top rated defense. I think they both was averaging like 2 steals a game. Kendall Gill was real good with the Sonics. But he was doing the interview, and this is last year when he did this interview. But they asked him some questions about LeBron James, and he gave his thoughts on first why it's hard to play with LeBron. Someone played that first, and then he gave some thoughts on if he felt like LeBron was surpassing Michael Jordan at this time. So this was before he broke the record. So took Kareem's scoring record. But this is what he said about playing with LeBron.
Russell Westbrook there. You got Anthony Davis. You have LeBron James. You have Pat Bev there. Sometimes too much talent on a team is bad. It's not good because everybody is trying to be the guy that they used to be on their previous team. Never thought that the trade was going to work out when they acquired Westbrook last year. You saw what happened last year. And I tell people this all the time. It's very hard to play with LeBron James. The reason why is because you have to completely change your game. LeBron is really the de facto point guard. Even though he's 6'9", 270 pounds, he's going to handle basketball most of the time. You look at all point guards that have played with him, with the exception of Kyrie Irving, who's really Kyrie Irving's a combo guard, but he really leans more towards being a shooting guard. Everybody has to change their game because LeBron has the basketball most of the time. That's why Westbrook struggled last year because he wasn't really allowed to play his position full time.
And this is something I've been saying a lot about LeBron James, and not so much as of late, because LeBron has the last couple of years, besides that year he played point guard for the Lakers. I want to say the year they won the championship in the bubble. He played point guard for the Lakers that year and averaged 11 assists. He like, okay, I'm literally the point guard. Even though that was the role he was always doing, but he just never said that he was the point guard, right, on the roster. But besides that year, he has taken a step back and played off the ball a little bit more, right? But now Luka Doncic is playing that same style where he's on the ball, and I speak a lot about it. But that's another topic for another day. Right now, it's for LeBron. Kendall Gill is right. It's hard to play with LeBron because you have to change your game. And I explained why. He didn't explain all the way why. So just from the point guard standpoint, if you're a point guard, let's say you're Rajon Rondo, and we got this example already because Rondo did play with him on that 2020 team. Rondo is a pure point guard. You get the most out of Rondo when he's playing point guard and orchestrating the offense. That's how you unlock the best of Rondo. So if you're on the team with LeBron and point guard is your superpower, imagine someone telling you point guard is your superpower, but you can't play it. You have to learn how to catch and shoot if you want to be on the floor with LeBron, because we're giving LeBron the point guard duties. He's gonna make the play. And that's what happened. Rondo turned into a catch and shoot 3-point shooter on the Lakers. Right. So automatically the position of point guard, you don't get to play your position when you're playing with LeBron. But that's not it. If you are a post up big man, center, power forward, if you post up like Shaq, and we got an example of this because Shaq played in Cleveland with LeBron. Shaq on offense, Shaq is only good at posting up. He's not a pick and pop like Dirk or Anthony Davis. He's not one of those dudes. Post up. He's not even a screen and roll dude like Amari Stoudemire. But guess what? It didn't work when he was in Cleveland because he wanted to post up, and LeBron don't flourish in an offense where the lane is clogged up with a post player. He flourishes in the offense where everyone is spread amongst the three-point line and the lane is wide open, because now LeBron has a wide open lane to drive to the hole, and if the double come, he can make that pass. But he need that lane wide open, because the difference between LeBron, Kobe, and Michael is that Michael and Kobe had that mid-range jump shot on automatic. So they didn't have to have the lane wide open, and they didn't have to drive to the rim and get all the way to the rim to get a high percentage shot. They could take one or two dribbles and hit the mid-range and pull up. And it didn't matter if Luke Longley was down there or Rodman was down there or Odom was down there or Shaq was down there. It didn't matter if a post player was down there, because you can stay down there because I don't need to come all the way to the rim. I can stop and pop the mid-range. Well, LeBron has to get all the way to the rim for the most part. And in order for him to do that, you got to be out of the paint. So point guards can't play their normal position, and power forwards can't play their normal position. Remember when Kevin Love used to post up in Minnesota? He came to Cleveland, he had to change his game to be a catch and shoot three-point shooter. Remember when Bosh used to post up in Toronto? Well, when he came to Miami, he had to change his game and be a catch and shoot three-point shooter. You remember when Wade used to use high screen and roll and do his thing with the ball all the time? Well, the first year when they came to Miami, they tried to let Wade do that, and LeBron and Wade took turns doing it. But the issue is when Wade has the ball and he's trying to do his thing, there's nothing for LeBron to do, because LeBron was definitely not a good catch and shoot shooter back then, and he wasn't a good post player either. So if LeBron wasn't orchestrating the offense, there's nothing for him to really do. So when they played in the finals against Dallas, while Wade was averaging 26 and 27 points a game, LeBron couldn't give him nothing but 17 points. So everyone had to change their game. So in order to get the best of LeBron, Wade had to take a back seat, change his game, play off the ball, and learn how to do that while LeBron did his thing. So the skill set that LeBron has kind of, locks him into orchestrating the offense, and the skill sets that he lacks doesn't allow other players to do that, because he don't have the shooting ability or the post. The off-ball play is not up to par for him to be able to let someone else orchestrate. So Kendall Gill is right in that assessment. Here's his second clip.
And I tell people this all the time. They say, well, if LeBron passes Kareem, he's the GOAT. I saw Shaquille O'Neal say it. I saw a number of NBA players say it, but I'm in total disagreement with that. And I think, and I tell people this: you got to be in the 6'5" club to be even mentioned in the conversation of the greatest of all time, and that's at least 6 championships and at least 5 MVPs. It's only 3 players that ever do that: Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Michael Jordan. That's why LeBron can't be in that conversation right now. And then they say, well, he's going to be the league's all-time leading scorer. Yeah, he started right out of high school. Kareem had to go to college for 4 years, where, by the way, he won 3 national championships and was 3-time player of the year. And if they had let him play his freshman year, he probably would have been 4-time national champion, 4-time player of the year. So my opinion is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because of his pedigree, high school, college, pro. Nobody comes close to Kareem. Now, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest NBA player of all time, but over the duration of all 3 careers is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
If he though does pass it, what would that do to his LeBron's legacy?
Oh, it's always great to be considered, the all-time leading scorer. Do I think it moves him up? No, LeBron can't go much higher unless he wins more titles and more championships and gets a couple more MVPs. He can't go much higher than he is. I just don't see him doing that. I don't think he'll win another championship in LA. I don't think he'll win another MVP.
I think you played until you were 36.
Yeah.
We got now look
Yeah, so that ship has sailed. The last question he asked, if he passes Kareem, does that make him the GOAT, or they give him a better argument? And it doesn't. I mean, they didn't help out for Kareem. So the part that everybody missed, and even Kendall missed this a little bit. Most of what he said at the beginning, I could get with, but they don't frame it well. Like, players play, and they don't sit back and have these conversations probably as much as fans do. I think fans probably had this conversation more than players. I'm pretty sure they have it at some point, because it's good for them to argue too. But it's a different perspective when you've been locked in at trying to perfect your craft for so long and compete with all these dudes. When we've been sitting here watching and spectating the whole time in our whole life, those debates that we have, I think we navigated a little bit different, right? For some people, right? So when you hear players try to explain why they think MJ is the best, or Kareem is the best, or Kobe is the best, when you hear them try to explain it, it don't come out as clean. And some of that terminology you got to kind of be able to work around. So, but what he was saying was, does the scoring title or the scoring record make him the GOAT? And he said no. And he said, I don't think it's nothing LeBron can do, right? But then he went back to the resume and was like, unless he wins more titles and wins more MVPs. So in his head, he said 6 titles, 5 MVPs is the starting point for him. So what he's basically saying is, judging, I'm just grading your resume, and that's how he did it. Now the way he did it, the cutoff point was big: six finals, 6 rings, and 5 MVPs. It cut it down to 3 guys: Russell, Kareem, and Mike. So that's cool, but it don't make a lot of sense to me, because when I say who's the GOAT, first and foremost, it starts out with who the better player is. Because what he just said, when you look at the resume, nobody not even Bill Russell with his 9, 10, 11 rings. Nobody's resume is better than Kareem's, that goes back from winning all 4 years in high school, winning 3 years in college, and then winning 6 in the pros, on top of getting the scoring record until LeBron broke it. Like, when you look at that resume, nobody is touching Kareem. On paper, Kareem has the best resume. On paper, Jordan has the second best resume. Wilt might have the third best resume on paper. So Russell might have the 4th best resume on paper. And then LeBron might have the 5th best resume on paper. Right? But as players, LeBron and Kobe blows everybody out of the water. LeBron and Kobe are the best players most of us ever seen, and that's what gets left out when people start just grading the resume and forming their conclusion. It has to go with who's the better player as well. That's why MJ, but the way he said it, Kareem, if you take all basketball, Kareem's the greatest, but if you take NBA, it's Jordan by far. What he's really trying to say is Jordan is the best player we've ever seen at the professional level.
So for you, it is just still hands down Jordan.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I tell guys this all the time. I was like, first of all, I do the 6-5 debate. There's 6 championships, at least 5 MVPs. LeBron isn't there. Okay. Then I said, listen, man, numbers don't lie. You look at Mike, had 10 scoring titles. By the way, he led the league in scoring one year and was Defensive Player of the Year.
That's crazy.
Okay. And then I said, listen, if you go to Halle Berry's house 10 times and she goes out when you ask her to go out with you to dinner, she goes out with you 4 times. But then another guy goes there 6 times and she goes all 6. Who's the man? Okay? It's Michael Jordan. That's what I told him. Then another thing I said, listen, this is the one that really tells me what people think deep down inside. I say, if you have one game to win for your life, who are you going to pick? Michael Jordan or LeBron James? The answer is always Michael Jordan. Always.
It's always
so it tells you right there.
Game for your life or game winning shot. It's always Jordan. Always Jordan. And I agree with Kendall on that, man. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I thought it was a good thing what Kendall Gill was saying, man. He kind of broke it down. He got his own criteria. At least he has a criteria. And at least he has a criteria that can be applied across the board fairly to everyone. Like, this is my cutoff point. 6 rings, 5 MVPs. That's the conversation stops there if you ain't got that. I'm good with that. If that's your criteria and it applies to everybody, I'm good with that. I'm not good when someone don't have a criteria and they're still trying to tell you, that LeBron's the GOAT because he came in with the most pressure in the league. Like, what the heck is that? He came in with the most pressure. Nobody has came in and had as much pressure as 18-year-old LeBron, and he lived up to that pressure and he over-exceeded it. Okay. No one has went to 3 different teams and won a ring. Most great players don't team hop. No one has done this without this type of coach. I mean, like, that's not a criteria. That's just you saying, I'm impressed by this, what LeBron did, and you're saying that, well, since he did it and nobody else did it, so that makes him the GOAT. That don't make sense to me. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll catch you on the next episode.